Hello, travelers. Welcome to the Copperfoxinn, where we discuss homebrew for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. My name is Thomas the Human Bard, and today I am joined by...
Onog the Half-Orc Barbarian.
And today we are on... Oh, I had a song prepared and I just lost what it was. Oh, I was going to do... And we are on a... side quest. And on this side quest, this is our part 3 or something of our deep dive into the Psionics Unearthed Arcana that just came out from Wizards of the Coast, where they put forth a couple of different subclass options, some spells, some feats, dealing with psionics in D&D and psychic character options. Last episode, we went deep on the Psychic Warrior, and so this episode we'll be looking at the roguish archetype Soulknife, which is I feel like it's like Soulknife would be like an R&B metal band or something.
Mm-hmm. It's the Soulknife. Like R&B metal? Oh, what would that even sound like?
Don't worry about it too much.
No.
All right.
It's at the recesses of my mind. It's like trying to see a new color.
Trying to invent a new color. You just can't see it. It's the Lovecraft style, like a color from space, a new this idea will whisper in the back of your mind.
Genre.
All right, I'll read the flavor here for the Soulknife. A Soulknife possesses powerful psionic potential. They channel this reservoir of inner magic into tangible blades of psychic energy, striking at their victims' minds. They find easy employment as members of thieves' guilds, being particularly sought after as assassins, since their signature psychic blades leave behind no visible wounds. As a Soulknife, your psionic abilities have haunted you since you were a child. Oh, might have haunted you since you were a child. Okay,
gosh. It's
just an option.
I can make knives, and they terrify me.
and I cannot sleep. Only revealing their potential when your psychic knives first appeared. Or you might have sought out a reclusive order of psionic assassins and spent years learning how to manifest your deadly blades.
Ah, yes, the two options. You either did it on purpose or you did it on accident.
Yeah. It's very much like the classic edgy pitch of it happened to me when I was a child and it scarred me. But then the other one's not less edgy.
Yeah. I went to a school to learn how to make knives.
From my mind to kill for money.
From my mind palace.
There isn't one where it's and you just are trying to do good in the world. But then again, I guess with a Soulknife, there's not a lot of healing properties.
When all you have is a hammer and so forth.
Yes. All you know is kill. The first feature is at 3rd level, Psychic Blade. As a bonus action, you can create a magical blade of shimmering psychic power from one or both of your hands. While one of your hands is manifesting a blade, you can't hold anything in that hand. You can dismiss one or both blades at any time, no action required, and they disappear if you're incapacitated. I always enjoy things I can do as a free action during combat. I appreciate no action required. The blade is a simple melee weapon with the finesse, light, and thrown properties. It has a normal range of 30 feet and a long range of 60 feet. It deals 1d6 psychic damage on a hit. If you throw the blade as part of an attack, it vanishes immediately after it hits or misses its target. The blade otherwise disappears the instant it leaves your hand. So no one can steal your psychic blade. Yeah.
And you can't hand it to someone else for them to use.
Yeah, you can't give them. You can't generate them and
that would be
kit up your crew.
That would be so weird. So yeah, this is basically just like Psylocke from X-Men, but just imagining the visual image of her making one of her psychic blades and then just casually handing it to somebody else. That doesn't track in my brain at all.
I would like it. Hear me out. What if it said, as a bonus action, you can create a magical blade of shimmering psychic power from one or two hands within 30 feet of you. But it could be someone else's hands.
Oh, you could super just frame someone for murder. I keep trying to drop these knives, but they keep appearing.
If somebody was holding something and you wanted them to drop it, you make it manifest so they have to drop the thing because they can't do both at the same time. That's very dumb.
That
and
being
not-
said, yeah, I do like that you can manifest them as an action, but dismiss them as a bonus action. So you can pull.
Well, no, not even as a bonus
or not
action,
as a bonus
just as
action,
a
but as a free action. And
which
just,
D&D doesn't.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say D&D doesn't often dip into free actions.
Or, like,
a
it's-
lot of other RPGs have like a free action section.
Well, I think free
but-
action used to be the terminology for like 3rd and 4th edition, but I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
no action required. It's just a thing you can do. But I'm just imagining you can just pull an Emperor's New Groove and just like start hucking knives, and if someone looks at you, somebody's throwing stuff. I don't know.
Somebody
Just make them disappear. And it's like, I don't have any knives. What are you talking about?
Not me.
Not me.
It doesn't say how like large or what shape they are, so I'm assuming that's up to your flavor.
Yeah, probably.
Most people, I would assume, will immediately imagine the character Psylocke from X-Men, who just generates big pink, like pointy shapes on her hands. But you could have them look like anything, or they could look like actual knives, I suppose.
Yeah,
like
I wonder about
daggers.
that. Does it say? It doesn't. It says shimmering psychic power.
Yeah.
So
So
it
like
does
they're
have-
obviously magical.
It does. It is obviously of something. I really like this ability. I think it's very cool. It's very flavorful. It doesn't break the game. I do kind of like. I like how it deals more damage than a normal knife. But from the wording here, it does look like it doesn't use your ability modifier at all.
Yeah, it doesn't say psychic damage plus your ability.
Plus your
it just says
dexterity.
1d6.
Yeah.
So
And so it does like mildly more dice damage, but it also doesn't get your ability modifier, so there's the trade-off there.
yeah. But later we'll see that there's also other reasons to use it other than the damage.
Right.
Because we'll get effects that kind of work with the knife.
But yeah,
later
but just
on.
as far as like a 3rd level like introduction to your subclass ability, this is a great little ability.
Mm-hmm. And this is really good. I mean, talking about generic like white room vacuum D&D of like you're all on a featureless grid. Like sure, it won't stack that well against like daggers as you increase in level and stuff, but all of that thrown away, a D6 psychic damage will bypass things like needing to be hit with like a magical weapon.
Yeah, not a lot of things resist psychic damage.
And psychic damage is like almost like very, very rarely resisted or immune. Only like constructs, really. Almost everything else is it's going to be guaranteed
Like
damage on them.
you can do full damage to even a totem barbarian with this. Like that's amazing.
It sneaks in there,
And
even though it might not be as like number-wise powerful.
And if I remember the wording on sneak attack correctly, is it the sneak attack damage is just the damage type of the weapon that got dealt?
No, it's you have a damage die that
No, but it's a damage type, like the
Oh, the
type of
type
so
of-
like is the
yes.
sneak attack damage dealt by these daggers psychic damage?
Who can search D&D Beyond faster? Go.
Me.
Probably, definitely you. Rogue, go. Rogue classes sneak attack.
Beginning of 1st level, creature 1d6 extra damage to one creature hit if you have. It just says extra damage. So I'm assuming it is
just-
of the damage type of the weapon.
Yeah. Yeah, it just is added onto the weapon's damage roll, I believe.
Yeah. So that's if you have a totem barbarian that's giving you some problems, send a Soulknife.
Yeah, it gets in there for sure. Tell me about this next 3rd level ability.
All right, so the next 3rd level ability is Psionic Enhancement. You can focus your psionic powers to give yourself an extraordinary ability. When you finish a long rest, you gain one of the following benefits of your choice, which lasts until you finish a long rest. So
Very similar to the Psychic Warrior 3rd level as well, the one where it was like a psychic defense or psychic offense. You pick one, and then you have it throughout the day.
Yeah, you can pick the formation or like the style you want to go with, or what the future situation requires. So you can communicate telepathically with any creature you can see within 30 feet of you. If a creature can speak at least one language, it can respond to you telepathically.
Okay.
So that's one. Increase your walking speed by 5 feet. Your
We
psychic,
all know Yeah.
We all know
We all
that
know-
Professor Xavier is very good at running very
Oh,
fast.
okay. Low blow.
Well, I
The
have
chair
to. He's
makes
very
him go
short.
faster. Yeah. Oh, no, that's worse. No, we all know that it's the thing. What happens is you have such a big brain from your psychic power. You lean and your inertia speeds you up.
All right.
Like when a toddler starts leaning and their like upper half is so much heavier than their bottom half, so they just start trying to keep their legs under them as much as they can, but they like immediately accelerate to top speed.
But now, Thomas, if you thought that increasing your walking speed by 5 feet doesn't make sense because you're psychic, boy, do I have the next ability for you. So the other one you could do is your hit point maximum and your current hit points increase by an amount equal to your intelligence modifier plus your rogue level. What? Being psychic gives you health?
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
There are
so,
some situations where like you could use your psychic abilities like telekinesis to knit your skin back
Yeah.
together or something like that, but that doesn't give you more health that lets you recover better, you know?
Yeah, it I think this leans into a consistent problem that I have with 5th edition and with sort of D&D in general, which is that hit points are an abstract of your will to continue fighting,
Yeah, I
not
guess.
necessarily your amount of blood. And it's like it treats it like that, but then also treats it like it's literally your amount of blood. And it just changes based on the ability referencing
Right.
it. Because something like saying you have like a telekinetic defense that makes you like harder to wear down, that sounds like it would add to your armor class. But
Or
probably
or
they
kind
decided,
of like the abjuration wizard's like ability where you get like a
Yeah,
shield
yeah.
that has health, or like I think even temporary hit points would work better
Yeah.
thematically than this.
Sure. But this is like, because hit points are so funky, it makes it sound like you just got more swole
Yeah.
by being psychic. Like you just went to the gym for a bit and like, no, I just got thicker abs now, my dude. It's not something I love
But yeah.
about the game.
So only
Hit
only
points.
one of these is psychic, the others are weird.
I mean, of the
But they're
three,
they're
I
all
think that hit.
things I would want as a
Oh
character.
yeah,
I just
I
would
think
need
that
a
hit
better
point
reason.
maximum is like very good,
Yeah.
especially like
Well, especially if
in
you're
early
high.
levels.
Yeah, at this level, like if you have like a 16 in intelligence,
Yeah,
like that's 6 extra health.
like that's a whole attack you could
That's
maybe
you're
like
you're,
tank.
you're a little barbarian friend, you know.
Yeah, that's pretty decent. The next ability, 9th level, Terrifying Blade. So this is some of the stuff where we get into like the psychic knives won't always deal tons of damage, but they'll do something, so they're worth using even at higher levels.
Right.
Your psychic blades can now stoke terror within a target. When you damage a creature with your psychic blade, you can force the target to make a wisdom saving throw. 8 plus your proficiency plus your intelligence modifier. On a failed save, the creature is frightened of you until the start of your next turn. On a successful save, the creature isn't frightened and is immune to your terrifying blade for 24 hours. So this can get you out of a real sticky situation that just dealing damage might not have been able to
Right.
do anyway, where you just need to get this person away from you. You need to maybe protect a target and you go stand by them so that the creature that's frightened of you has to, not come closer and has disadvantage while you're in sight, that kind of stuff.
Well, and yeah, fear is a great area control ability. I love that it's just like we talked about before, and I think in the kind of preview kind of a thing, where it's just it's not like if you miss on one guy, you can't use this ability again until a long rest. You can try on the next enemy. Like you can just keep doing
Anytime you deal damage, yeah.
And now it's also important to note, and kind of this is more of a probably formatting thing. I don't like the idea that it says that your blades don't leave wounds is in the flavor text paragraph. That needs to be, that's like while that you would think
That should be a feature.
while we would think that would be a flavor text thing, that's actually something that like fundamentally changes certain things about the game. Like you could summon a soul knife, stab someone in the back with it, dissipate the soul knife and give them fear, and so this person seems irrationally terrified of you and no one else understands what's going on. There's no wounds on them, you are holding no weapon. Like that is a mechanical difference between it's a knife.
Yeah,
and
for
so
sure.
like that's I think I would move that to the psychic blade thing, saying like they don't leave wounds. Like, you won't be able to see how much damage you've done because you can't tell if they're bleeding or not. You know, there will be murder victims in the street that it's just like they have no wounds on them, and it's like that's a whole can of worms kind of a thing, and they're just kind of like nonchalantly mentioning it in the flavor text.
Yeah. One of the other weird parts of it is that, I mean, in the flavor text, they say, like, they easily find employment as members of guilds and are always sought after as assassins, which implies that everyone knows about these guys.
Yeah.
Which is like an entire, like, now I have to build the whole world around that, where everyone's always like, well, there are no wounds. Well, could it have been a soul knife? And if that's going to be everyone's first thought, then it's not even cool anymore, because now it's like my thing that I could use from hidden and leave no marks. Everyone immediately knows, oh, the only thing from hidden that leave no marks is that guy.
Or poison, like, I guess. Or poison.
Yeah.
Could have been poison.
Could have been poison there, maybe, in the biscuits.
But Terrifying Blade, great ability.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's really good. Hit me up with that next one.
All right, this is where things start falling apart. Psychic Veil. Don't worry, I'm not flavoring the reading or anything.
You're not biased.
I'm not biased in any way. You can weave a veil of psionic static to mask your physical presence. As an action, you can magically become invisible, along with anything you are wearing or carrying, for 10 minutes. This invisibility ends if you make an attack or if you force a creature to make a saving throw. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your intelligence modifier, minimum of once, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest.
Okay.
Now you're thinking, Onog, but you're a rogue, and being invisible would be an amazing benefit. And my answer to you is, especially like if they're doing this thing that they're clearly doing, and this is just reflavoring psionics as casting a spell, basically. Then just, if you want to be an invisible rogue, then just be an arcane trickster, because you get this ability at 13th level. Arcane tricksters can cast 2nd level spells, which invisibility is one of them, at 7th level. So, and they can cast it up, which, you know, benefits more things, and they can make other things invisible, not just them. So it's like, this ability falls. This feels like the Ranger's like 7th level bonus action hide ability, where it's like, well, why would you give this to me? If I wanted that, I would just go be a rogue, kind of a thing. And so, if I wanted this invisibility ability, I can get it twice as fast. I can get it at half the levels that this requires to get to it.
Yeah. It's not even
And it's not even like superior invisibility where like an attack doesn't expose you. It's literally just invisibility with, I think, the one exception that casting a spell, which this rogue can't do, by the way, that casting a spell doesn't cause you to also back out of it. Because normal invisibility has, like, if you make an attack, cast a spell, or make someone make a saving throw, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So
there is the, like, oh, man, it's, like, so frustrating, because a way that it could have been very interesting and good was if this wasn't treated as a magical ability. If it just said, as an action, you can become invisible through the use of your psionic power. But magically become invisible immediately means that I can probably dispel magic this.
Yeah, you can dispel magic this. You can detect magic this. And that's the other thing. This is where we start coming into the crossroads of the conflicts that, like, previously psionic abilities have been specifically not magic. They were just, you have this just innate ability to interact with the world around you outside of your normal purview. And so the fact that they are making it, all of this is magic, all of this is magic, all of this is magic, is explicitly nerfing one of the primary aspects of being psionic in the first place.
Yeah, I agree. What this reminds me of, or not reminds me, what this makes me feel as I read it is that this feels like it wasn't, the concept for this effect or this feature was an earlier level concept, like maybe a 3rd level or something, where it was, you can weave a veil of psionic static to mask your physical presence, and you can like cast seeming on yourself, like for free or something. So it's like you can blend your face a little bit so that you don't quite look like yourself. But it's like an earlier level thing, so it's not supposed to be that important and powerful. And what ended up happening, and this is all speculation. What ended up it feels like happening is like it got bumped kind of later and later in the build, and they were like, well, at 13th level, casting seeming a couple times isn't that great. It should just be invisibility, right? It should just be casted like making yourself fully invisible. That would be much better. But that's still not really enough to make this worthwhile.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially with what you're saying about like arcane trickster.
Also, seeming is a 5th level spell.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
What am I thinking?
I think you're thinking of like disguise self.
I guess so. I guess yeah. Huh. Why is seeming 5th level?
Because it's basically 8-hour disguise self that requires no concentration that you can put on other people.
Okay.
It's like you can make your whole party look like entirely different things.
Sort of. I mean, seeming has doesn't have a really strong limit of like you have to look still like exactly your shape. Like it can't change your shape at all.
Yeah, like the changes wrought by the spell fail to hold up to physical inspection. So you could make it look weird, but like the moment anyone touches you, it immediately falls apart. So you would want to keep to your normal physicality.
But I guess the thing is that you can use it on other people and stuff. Yeah. Okay, whatever. So in my mind, this made sense.
It's basically mass disguise self.
Yeah, disguise self, yeah. So I guess in my head then this was more like you can use a version of disguise self or something like that. That's like a smaller ability, but like makes sense I use my psychic power to like blend into a crowd. But then it seems like it got tweaked in ways to try and adjust for the level they were putting it at, and it didn't. It's the ability needs to be rethought if it's going to be a 13th level feature.
Yeah, like just giving somebody invisibility, and like at 13th level, your intelligence might be pretty high, but that's the thing is like the only abilities that are scaling off of your intelligence there's only like 2 on this thing, so like you're not incentivized to put more into intelligence other than these specific abilities.
Well, all the DCs they base off your intelligence.
They're based off your intelligence. Okay, so you would want to be moderately intelligent at least at this point, which is still like maybe that's 4 times a day, which is like still like at 13th level. An arcane trickster can cast greater invisibility, so they don't need to.
Yeah. Yeah, underwhelming, I think, to say the least. So the final feature, 17th level, Rend Mind. You can sweep your psychic blade directly through a creature's mind. As an action, while you have at least one psychic blade manifested, you can force a creature you can see within 30 feet of you to make an intelligence saving throw, DC equal to 10 plus your proficiency bonus plus your intelligence modifier, not 8. Is that a typo?
Wait, yeah.
It's almost always 8. I don't know. Maybe that's a typo. Or maybe it is purposefully more difficult. I'm not sure.
Considering this would be the first time that number has ever been something that isn't 8, I'm pretty sure that's just a typo.
They could be going crazy, and they could be saying, you know what? Let's change how DCs work in this.
I mean, it is the Soulknife capstone ability kind of a thing.
That's true. If you are hidden from the target, it has disadvantage on the save. On a failed save, the target takes 12d6 psychic damage and is stunned until the start of your next turn. On a successful save, the target takes half as much damage and isn't stunned. One of your psychic blades vanishes after using this feature. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your intelligence modifier. Longer. Yeah.
So yeah. So as far as this goes, like the fact that it only stuns them for a turn is kind of blah. But the thing that saves this as a capstone feature, because it's like you stun them and you do you do a lot more damage, but you only do damage. The thing that saves this is that you can use this multiple times.
And it's an intelligence saving throw, I think is the other thing.
It is an intelligence saving throw, which is one of the least
resisted.
The least resisted saving throw in the game. And I think because you can do this literally, let's see, is this as an action? Okay, so this is as an action. So you can't even do this more than once a turn, so I don't know why the psychic blade disappears when you do this.
Because you have to conjure it back.
Yeah, because it basically just
action.
makes you just conjure it back, and I don't know what kind of balancing that's trying to prevent. Because this is a capstone level ability, and I guess you're splintering the blade into the mind, kind of a thing. But none of the other abilities, like Terrifying Blade, doesn't destroy the blade. I don't know what that's for. Because like if it was like every time you attack, you could do this instead, then that would be something where I'd be like, oh, of course it destroys the blade. So like you can only you either have to spend your time getting your blades back, or you can only attack twice the turn, kind of a thing, with the two weapon fighting style kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But because you have to do this as an action, it's not even like as part of the attack. I don't know what balancing that's for, so that just kind of feels weird.
Yeah, one of the things that I like about it being it's not part of an attack is that you don't have to worry about not landing the attack. Like, this is just, it happens.
Yeah,
like,
that is
they
true.
have to make the saving throw. So you're gonna, I mean, they have to, fail the saving throw still, but
you'll still do at
with
least something, kind of thing.
Yeah, you'll do at least half damage no matter what. Like, that's gonna happen. Because even if they pass, they take half damage. So that's going to happen. And then the best option is they take the full damage and they're stunned. And then you could do it again next turn and try and stun lock them.
Mm-hmm.
But, comparing that with, like, the monk stun locking people,
you're
the
only
monk
going
has
to be able to
the
do
attack.
this a couple of times.
Yeah.
The monk at this level can literally lock down an NPC for multiple turns.
Yeah, for sure.
This will only happen unless something weird is going on. This will only happen like 5 times. At most.
Yeah.
And that's for your long rest, so you got to save those.
Man, I feel every time it's so funny. Every time we read these, I'm always actively like re-brewing it in my own mind of like, man, what would be a better feature than this? And it's such a it's such a prideful thing to do because I'm like, ugh, these guys who design the game professionally, I think I know the game better than them.
Yeah.
But also, hear me out. I like a different ability better than this.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing, is that's why they release these as Unearthed Arcana. They want our feedback. They want us to go, that feels stupid. Why would I do that? Or like, that is way too powerful. I would never do anything other than that. And like, especially for somebody branded as a Soulknife, I don't know that like just explicitly doing damage feels right. Like, like you were saying, like you started brewing something the moment you were like, it's the Soulknife capstone ability. It is a psychic rogue. I started thinking, it's like, well, what if there was something you could do that like you stabbed someone with your psychic knife, and then like you mind control them while the blade is in there or something, and so it's like
that'd be cool.
like you can become like the ultimate psychic politician or assassin, where it's like you literally aren't killing people, you're just taking over their brains and making them push forward your own policies.
Dominate person or Gias on them or something,
like
when you like land the ability.
And then like if somebody inspects them, they can find the knife and then it disappears and the effects ends, kind of a thing. But it's like it has its limitations, but it's this like cool ability where you can just like really quickly go like, boom, all right, you're on my team now,
So hear me out on this. I get you'd have to do some redesigning work. And generally, this is quite powerful. But hey, it's a capstone. What else am I doing?
Yeah,
with this,
what are we doing at 17th level? Fighting gods?
Yeah, come on. What if this was like, you've got to, like, I don't know, we try and do some balancing. Maybe you have to hit them with both your knives in the same turn or something, or whatever. I don't know. But then you cast Feeble Mind on the target.
Oof.
And it just, you wreck them. You rend their mind. They're out, dude. Like, they're gone. That would be kind of hype.
Yeah.
Something like that. Like, I get it would need some balancing to just, like, not make it the only thing you ever do to any person you fight. But
that's
that
the thing.
feels
It's your
really
capstone ability.
Yeah. As opposed to this, which is like, yeah, you can stun them for a turn.
Yeah, the assassins, I think the assassin's capstone ability is also like damage related. And their capstone ability is that, like, when your assassinate feature goes off, well, and how that's automatically criticaling your attack, and so which is like over doubling your damage. Well, what if you doubled your damage again? Like that's what the assassin's 17th level ability.
Spider-Man Far From Home of Mysterio going, double the damage.
What if we doubled the damage? Yeah. But you're already doubling the damage, sir. What if we doubled the damage, though?
What if we doubled the damage?
And so it's like the fact that this is like, so instead of landing an attack, which would do what at 17th level, that would be something like, that would be 9d6 of sneak attack damage anyways. Like you're using an ability to do 12d6 sneak attack damage.
Yeah.
That doesn't really feel like an ability. Like now that I'm actually like crunching it down and doing the math, it's like instead of doing an attack with your psychic knife, which actually would be 10d6 damage, including the psychic knife itself, you're gonna do 12d6 damage and maybe we'll stun them. It's basically just giving you an alternative attack, which is something that normally should be happening at earlier levels.
Yeah.
And so,
see, that's what I feel like. I feel like a lot of these conceptually make sense as earlier level abilities, and then they all just sort of got shifted up.
And they
to
just
like,
got the numbers
that'll
bumped
be
up.
the capstone. Yeah. And we'll double it or something. But it's still not. It needs to be really recontextualized if it's going to be the capstone. It can't just be. And I don't know, like 12d6. That's a lot of damage, right?
Well, and I think that's just one of those things where. And this is being play tested. This is
yeah, for sure. Give the feedback. Fill out the questionnaires they send out people. Listeners, if you're playing with this, fill out the surveys that they send out after every Unearthed Arcana and tell them what you like and don't like about it, because that's how it gets fixed.
That's how we fix things like this.
Yeah, they read them. All right, our final parting thoughts here on the roguish archetype Soulknife. Which I have to say in that like smooth R&B voice now.
No, but you have to say Soulknife.
Or you have to be like Soulknife.
Yeah,
like black metal.
I went a little more glam metal with mine.
Side quest. Yeah, Soulknife.
But yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. What do we think? I don't know. Immediately, this one has the strongest like immediate flavor that I go, oh yeah, I get it.
Like this
but
makes
then
sense.
All of the,
I understand what you're going for.
But then all of the abilities are like each one above the next one is sort of like a letdown a little bit.
Yeah, like as you go higher up the totem pole, it's less and less detail.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really love the concept of the psychic knives. That feels cool. That sounds cool. It looks cool. And then, yeah, as the abilities go, if I wanted these abilities, I would just be an arcane trickster at a certain point.
Yeah.
Like, the only thing that I'm losing out of by not being an arcane trickster is just a knife that I can summon for free. Which, if you take certain Xanathar spells as an arcane trickster, you can still do anyways.
Yeah, definitely. I think, here we go. I say we reorder it a little bit. We take Psionic Enhancement and we kill that. We don't need it. What is this? Make me walk 5 feet faster? I don't care. That's not flavorful at all. We replace that with something like a Psychic Veil feature, but a third level version of it, where it's just like you blend into crowds somehow using your psychic ability.
Yeah, like that'd be cool. But it wouldn't be.
You're the
13th
person.
level. Yeah.
You're the person who can turn your collar up, walk through the crowd. No one knows who you even are. Kill someone, leaving no mark, and disappear, and they don't know who the assassin was. Like that's a immediate flavor that I get. Terrifying Blade, we can sort of keep that. We get a new version of a 13th level ability, something completely new, and then Rend Mind. We have it just destroy their brain somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Either
we
by
do a dominate mind.
Yeah,
we
dominating
do
or just feeble minding. Something
feeble-minded.
other than it does mildly more damage than your attack would have done at this level anyways.
So then that all builds up to this character that is very, very much a psychic version of the sort of assassin rogue, and much less a bad version of an arcane trickster.
Yeah.
Where this is like they blend into the crowd, they sneak up, they leave no marks, they can do things like inflict status effects on people so they can like sow chaos and terror in the crowd, and then they get to their target and they do the like requiescat in pace, and then they get them with the feeble mind or whatever it is, and they're just left laying on the ground with no brain left, and your character walks off into the
and then like
the
people
sunset.
don't even know that they're dying because there aren't any wounds. Like that's such a cool idea.
That's so good. That feels good to me as a imagining of this. Somebody in the comment section, if you feel like homebrewing, brew that up. Try that out. Maybe we'll brew that up. And,
maybe on another one of these side quests one of these days.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any final thoughts before we close it out?
No, I think I said my piece.
All right. Well then, listeners, we hope you enjoyed our discussion of the Soulknife here. Let us know what you think of it in the comments below. Remember to like and subscribe for future D&D content. And tell us what you think a better capstone ability for the Soulknife would be. Do you want to see it rend their mind through a feeble mind, or do you want to see them manipulate them like some sort of horrible psychic ventriloquist dummy? Let us know what you think, or if you have a different idea than either of those. And I guess that'll wrap it up. That's another side quest completed, and nobody even died.
Well, except for that poor politician.
Yes, the one that we've been using all these examples. He is dying on the ground, being feeble-minded, and also terrified. So someone should call the town guard. I don't know who did it.
Yeah, it wasn't us.
Someone's throwing stuff.
Somebody's throwing stuff.
Oh, not me. Till next time, listeners, keep on adventuring.